Right, I'll get straight on with it. So yeah, I'm Jonny Rippon. I'm from Hive IT. Just a little bit about me. I'm going to chat with Chris after this. So really, it's just to give you a bit of background into who I am and what Hive IT do. But my own background, I was the founder and the managing director of Hive. And my own experience, it's about 20 years experience plus now in the industry. And in that time, I've essentially, I'm not a techie. I did a sociology degree and got into tech kind of by accident, but I've been account exec, a project manager, sales manager, marketing manager, biz dev manager, account manager, head of client services, and I kind of ran out of more, I'm sure. But essentially, I've been working with clients closely and with teams and users to deliver a variety of stuff, generally on the web. It's not hit? Yeah, there. Okay, and what's my passions and what I'm talking about today really is not less about Hive, but more about my passion about doing business right, with honesty and with ethics, and my passion for the environment and the inequalities that we see in society. So what can we do about that? And the potential for business, for limited companies like ours and everyone else for positive impact. So I'm going to show you some examples and just talk you through some of the stuff that we've done. Maybe it inspires one of you, maybe we could work together, all that stuff. So it's just really just showing what we've been up to. So Hive IT itself, we started 10 years ago, so that was 2014. And we're a digital agency. Our core strengths are in user experience, design, and software development, application development, and mobile and web. And we've grown to a team of about 26 now. And our turnover is about 1.75 million a year. Our roots are in Sheffield, so that's where our office is, but we've now got little bases. We use co-working spaces. We've got one in Manchester and Bristol. And to be honest, a lot of the people that we employ these days, they're not Sheffield. They could be anywhere. It's a remote world we live in, so we embrace that. So it's kind of, you know, our roots are here, but not just a Sheffield company. And our clients, over that 10 years, we've worked with loads of organisations. So I've just got a flavour there, really. A lot of our work is public sector. It's one of our specialisms, is to work with government departments, really aligned to the way that we do projects, working with users. Then there's some, really proud to work with the local companies as well, with the charities. So we've got the likes of Western Park on there, Sage, Sheffield Flourish. We've worked with these companies for years, and it really matters to us to not just the public sector, not just work with the big brands, but to use the learning and practice that we've taken on the big projects and allow that to be to work with the smaller companies as well. So I'm not going to go into all these projects. If someone wants to have a chat with me later, I can certainly go into it, but maybe that's another thing. The biggest one I suppose to mention, the kind of main project, is with Department for Education. So we've probably worked with them for over 5 years now, developing a data platform, a stats platform. So when the schools produce stats, when the government produces stats on education, it's through our system that they publish that, and then people can make decisions. So we're really proud of that development, and it continues and grows, and yeah. That's the wrong way. And what's Hive about? Our mission is quite simple. We live to make good things happen, and that's kind of just fed throughout the company, really, in terms of what we try to achieve. So I'll kind of give you some examples, really, in terms of the way that we sort of think about our business. When we first started, we weren't just trying to make good things happen. We were trying to pay my money, to pay my mortgage. I'll be that blunt. That wasn't our overriding goal. So we've evolved over time. We've followed that path, and we're constantly looking for how we can make more good things happen. And it's what we've done in terms of the last few years. We've really sort of took control of that what we do and good things. Instead of just being random, everyone does things, or lots of people do stuff. Instead of being responsive to people waiting for us to come and say, I would like a new website, we've tried to be proactive about our own activity, who we're engaging with, trying to talk to real people in real life situations and solve real problems. But in terms of the business itself, we really try to encourage our people, our staff to input on that, and not just, I'm the managing director, but it's not all me that does all this. There's people working at it with a focus. So about 2 years ago, we kind of broke into strategy teams, one focusing on social good and all the good things we can do. We've got a team that focuses solely on diversity, inclusion, and equity. One that's focused on staff well-being, and another team which we call Team Niche, which is constantly focusing on R&D and innovation and what's going up in tech. And our business is kind of driven from that. We're not, we're a limited company, but we're people before profits very much. And then, we've done well, we're a successful company, but that is never the thing that we are, driving forward in terms of trying to run the business. It's not about the profit, really. The profit kind of comes naturally and comes after. And then just a few examples really of some of the stuff. So this is just from this year where we've tried to really take stock of what we're doing and encourage our staff to tell us what they're up to and can we support them. But we have a volunteering policy, so we have 5 days a year for all our staff to do their own thing, to volunteer, to spend some time in the community. So some of that we organise on their behalf and say, how about working with the Archer project, which was last week. That's Tom up there sorting out the beans and the stock, and I was there as well. There's a few of us down there just tidying up and spending our time with them. Chantel is passionate about nature, so she wanted to go off and plant some trees, so she used that for her time. We've got myself. We do litter picks every month, so we try to regularly get out there on the streets and physically just tidy the streets and do our bit. We've got Kat here who's involved with the Lego League, so we're really keen to, one of our missions is not just working with charities, but it's about helping young people. Future opportunities in tech is really important to us, so that's one of our kind of pillars. Duncan off doing a run, lots of our people do runs for charity. I'm sure you have people at your companies too that do, but we just try to sort of showcase it, try to help them raise money and try to support them where we can. And then this was last week, the weekend we were down in London on a march, a climate march, because we've kind of, we're just basically a bit sick of the world out there, and we've got to that point where we're actually, we've got a voice too, and we can actually try and encourage others to think about the environment and do what we can. And kind of what are the benefits of our approach? They're clear, but I suppose it's good to sort of take stock really. So in terms of the staff benefits, the people benefits, we have really high, we have a really low staff turnover, really high retention. The well-being of our staff is really important to us, and the result of that is we don't have people go off sick that often. They can be honest, they can wake up and they go, I just feel rough. And we're not going to force them into a desk and pretend they're working. Well, we understand that people have their lives and their own situations. So that satisfaction is really high, and it really helps with recruitment as well. We don't generally struggle to fill roles when we get out there because people can see it's somewhere that they want to work, and we really value people and just recognise people are people. It makes a big difference. So yeah, we like to spend time understanding real problems. When we do a project, we always say, can we talk to the users? Can we get out there? Can we find out what's really happening? Can we prototype it? Can we meet them? And the best ideas always come from the people on the ground that are doing it every day. It doesn't come from the top. It comes from the cleaners or the users of the apps or whatever who are saying, hang on, have you thought about this? And then we've got benefits just in terms of our marketing and business development and networking. So we like to associate with like-minded people. And as an agency, quite often you're at the whim of the market, you're at the whim of the opportunities that come through your door. But if you get out there and you start talking to those right kind of people, the right sort of opportunities come along because you're having those conversations. And then essentially the same thing, taking control of that sales pipeline, not just waiting for the opportunity to come, but saying, we care about this, we want to do something about this, will you join us? And increasingly, actually, we're very strong in public sector. It's actually a requirement now, and more so for public sector bids, to demonstrate your social value. So it's it's about 20% to 30% of scores on bids these days. It's coming as important as cost. So you really have to, you have to do it if you want to be successful in the public sector. But thankfully, it's just great for us because we've been doing it anyway. So it just aligns. And then, yeah, the benefit of good karma. I believe in it. You do good things, you be nice, and people will be nice to you. So that's our ethos. It just wanted to. I'm really proud of Hive, and we'll chat, Chris, about why, how, and all that. But really, generally, we've tried to be under the radar in many ways. We just quietly go along, doing our nice thing, doing our good thing, and it's worked. So, and then the future. This is more of my dystopian image of the future, but I don't know if anyone's seen this film, but WALL-E's a fantastic film, but harrowing. And if we're not careful, that is the way things are going. So in WALL-E, we've let the robots take over, we've trashed the planet. I want to avoid that. I've got kids. I think a lot of other people do. So, we've decided that, if to do something about it. If you're not part of the solution, you're probably part of the problem. So we're just trying to be proactive and look for like-minded people too. And that's it in the background of Hive. Yeah.
You good? Cool. So how do you feel? 10 years in May, right? 10 years last month.
It is, yeah. We've, as I said earlier on, I think I'm proud actually when I take a stock and look at it. So you don't normally do. You just, as a business, they run the business. You just, time flies essentially.
Yeah.
So 10 years was a good marker actually, where we could actually take stock a little bit, and so it was great to sort of had up a party, invited some people that we've worked with. But yeah, I'm proud that we've done it slightly differently. We've not always toed the path as everyone else. We've been in control of our own destiny, and I'm just proud of I'm proud of the clients we've got. I'm proud of the people that work for us and what we've achieved.
Yeah, you're one of those, to me, you're a quintessentially Sheffield company, founded on a kind of an ethos and a desire to do good work the right way. Mm-hmm. And you've kind of gone under the radar a bit. Like, not many people really know you exist. Mm-hmm. You've been quietly doing excellent work for a long time. Maybe in a niche and, not a big area that people are going to be that aware of. But just in the business community and generally, people aren't aware that companies like yours exist. So I've got a few questions about that, but I also wonder how the reality has kind of matched your imagination when you started out. Obviously, your background was in agency. We worked together, a long time ago. But when you started Hive, you had a particular vision for what you wanted it to be. So how did that kind of react to the actual market and try to make it real?
Yeah, it's a good question. And going back, to be honest, that really strong vision and our mission, wasn't that strong when we started. Okay. We knew I'd worked for somewhere that I wasn't happy. Got with corporate, and I said, well, there's a better way of doing this. And to be honest, I was quite confident that it would work, mainly because of experience of talking to clients and realising that there is an opportunity there for SMEs, that you can be better than the corporate that they're working with, because it's about people. So to me, it was, if I got the right people, that's kind of all I need. And because there was a business plan, but it wasn't, it wasn't to take over the world. It was to be sustainable, to do this and keep doing it right. And to me, it could be a 3-person company or a 300-people company. I don't measure success in terms of that sort of numbers. It's more about, being happy in what you're doing, and providing a good service. So, going back to the business plans and things like that, I think one of the things when I thought, I was confident it would work, and it has, but I was always think, well, it's not a product, it's just a service that we're doing. There's loads of companies doing the same thing. How do you differentiate yourself? And probably a bit more cautious of the competitive landscape. The reality is, and I think I've probably learned this probably through books and over time, is don't fear competition. Don't fear if someone's not doing it already. It doesn't matter. You can do it. Just do it better, or do it slightly different. And actually, perhaps as well, in competition, don't try to beat them. They are, I think in the book, it's Simon Sinek, isn't it?
Yeah.
It calls them worthy rivals, and I've always loved that term. And I've always seen anyone else in Sheffield doing what we're doing, is I want them to do well too. And I want to learn from them, and maybe you just want to work with them. You don't want to, personally, I don't want to take over the world. I just want to do our thing, and I'm happy working with anyone to do it who's got a similar mindset and objectives.
Yeah. So, so talk to us a bit about the people, because several of your core team that have been with you for the whole 10 years, right?
There is, yes. There's so yeah, it's not all me. I'm claiming credit here. It's not all me. There's my Liz is over there, so she's one of our directors. We've got I've got two business partners, Duncan and Marv, and then to be honest, all our people contribute. We don't have that kind of hierarchies and that such a case that everyone doesn't contribute. It's a accumulation of all their input. What was the question again?
Just about people, how important they are, the core people, but also you bring people into the company.
So that's the thing actually. So no, we made an early start by taking people we've worked with before, and they've people, attention to that, so they're still there. But if we just have those people, we would never be what Hive are today. So it's about bringing in fresh ideas, fresh perspectives. We've really encouraged, we've employed quite a lot of younger people, juniors, and trained and developed those people. Really sort of trying to work on diversity and not just be, white old middle class men who run a company, because it wouldn't work. So that's been important, and we will keep evolving and keep making sure that there's opportunities for people to work with Hive and work for us.
Cool. I was going to ask you about highs. Like, can you think of particular moments in the last 10 years that you've really valued and that you think about when you look back?
I struggle with the question. Yeah, highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's probably not me. I've discovered that in life, that I'm not one of these people that gets overly emotional in any way in terms of highs. But if you have highs, you're going to have lows. And an agency is kind of a bit of a roller coaster, it was described to me. So, you're at the whim of the clients and the business out there. But I feel if we chase the highs, you set yourself up for a fall in many ways. So we've tried to take that path where it's an upward curve, but the moments, apart from the early days, you might get a PO early on, and then you're like, this is amazing, it's real, it's happening. But from then on, really, it's very small things. It's that delivery here happened, that worked. But essentially, we're getting paid for what we do. So if we achieve and a website goes live, it's well done us. That's our job. So I don't get overly excited about that. So my personal moments are more time spent with staff on away days, fun things that we've done. That sort of element of it, really, rather than the peaks and the troughs.
What about failures? What hasn't worked? What have you put effort into that didn't pan out?
Yeah, a fair few things actually, but I struggle to argue it didn't work. So we embrace failure. It's one of the things that we've learned to do, and it should do. Everyone in tech should do that. You're not going to get it right first time, and you, particularly through innovation and R&D, to be honest, it's about failure in many ways. It's about learning from an experience. So yeah, we put a lot of investment into things that so far haven't maybe materialised. We did a lot of work in IoT, Internet of Things, and that kind of world. Gone quiet, but it's back. Quite often when you're doing your innovation and your R&D, we're learning early, but actually the market isn't ready. The tech isn't ready, the infrastructure's not ready, and it comes full circle. So we're looking at projects at the moment where, hang on, we know about sensors, we've done that, we did it on a beehive,
Right.
Yeah.
But that was 8 years ago.
That was 8 years ago, but the knowledge is still there, and actually, and it all kind of comes together. So, in terms of low points, I suppose there was one point where one of our members of staff passed away, and that was a real low. So that's it's a people thing. But in terms of the businesses, we've rode various economic crashes, Brexit, whatever, COVID, you name it. You have to just kind of embrace it. And those are the factors that can hurt you, but everyone's in the same boat in many ways. You just have to see we've got to change to meet this new world. Part of the beauty of the agency is that you kind of can. because of, by definition, you can flip, you can pivot, you can concentrate on different markets.
Yeah, so I was going to ask a question about Sheffield and about how you think Sheffield performs as a place to start an agency business in particular. But maybe talk about agency as well, just the fact that you're quite agile, with a small a. You can pivot, you can kind of pick and choose your clients maybe when you get to a certain point, and adapt more easily. But you're still relatively small, even though there's 26 of you, which is, for an agency, a sizable agency. But yeah, if your ambition was to grow a lot bigger than that, maybe you would lose some of that flexibility.
Yeah, any growth we have done, it's just been natural, organic. So we've never sat there and gone, we need to meet this target, we need to have this many people, we need to open this many offices. It's all been necessity that has driven that. And just going back to your point on Sheffield and starting up, and we were lean from the start, and we still are. So you don't get carried away. We started out, we had a shared desk. We didn't need an office. We had our own computers. We didn't need to buy new computers. If I look back now and gone, gosh, it cost that much money to put an agency together, I probably wouldn't have done it. That's the only thing that, and so it's probably wiser not to sort of to know the reality, but keep putting those profits back into investing your staff. And yeah, in Sheffield itself, it is a great place in many ways. There's a lot of stuff that people don't know and appreciate goes on. We're quite in tune with the Sheffield community, and that's really supported us. So having contacts and friends who can refer us, that's kept our pipeline going. But having people to chat to, having two amazing universities on our doorstep. So we're lucky enough to work with the universities and work with some of those spin-outs as well. So really interesting stuff going on. So it's been a great place to me to start a business. But I think one of the things that we've always thought is we say we're a Sheffield institution in many ways, but we're not just Sheffield. It's just we just happen to be in Sheffield in many ways. So our clients aren't all Sheffield. Yeah. We didn't start a business going, what's the market in Sheffield? It's like, what's the market in Edinburgh and London and Bristol? Where Sheffield's based, it means you can get to all those within 2 hours. So it's a really good location in terms of that as well. So.
Cool. Great. Any questions from the audience for Jonny before we wrap up? Not a single question. Yeah.
We've got a client mostly UK based is the truth. So, but because it's the web, things are all over the place, aren't they? You look at the Google Analytics, you realise half your traffic's coming from India. You didn't realise. And then we've also got we've done projects that are global. So we've worked with UNICEF and worked with the Australian government. We've done some, but generally through UK partners and UK based. So there shouldn't be a barrier to working overseas and doing that. But I suppose most of our core has been that the UK government and public sector, probably because we're well aligned to when they did get GDS right, when they did start saying go through a discovery process and alpha and beta, it was music to our ears. And I don't think a lot of the other governments, the other countries are even anywhere near that yet. So there's an opportunity to take that to other places, but we've done okay in the UK.
Anyone else? Yeah, Emma at the back.
I don't even know whether I can. No, there's nothing arrogant or anything. It's like I don't think I would.
What, you wouldn't start again?
No, you wouldn't start. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done things too differently. I don't think because we have, we haven't had those massive highs and lows. We're still in control of our own destiny, and I'm proud of what we've done. So I say everyone makes little mistakes. Everyone has challenges, but it's about overcoming them and learning from them. Yeah.
rinse and repeat then. Yeah, yeah.
Did you start solo, or was there a group of you? And what did you feel like you needed to have in place to go?
Yes, good question. I kind of started solo, but with the proviso that I knew I could get a technical director and a UX director who were also keen to join. So not being a techie myself, not being a developer, it would have been a real challenge for me to do that without really trusted business partners, and we had the bases covered in terms of doing a web solution. We needed it was important to me that we did it right in terms of the users and the technology. So no, I needed those. I would have struggled, I think, on my own.
Was there anything like did you have like a client whichever money going on? What was it that made you think we can do this? Like to actually go from not existing to let's do it with this.
Just unpick that side. So what made me make the jump or start it essentially? Yeah.
Thinking about let's start a business, but then sometimes thinking I just need these things in place, or was it like you're actually going to go for it no matter what?
Yeah, I'm looking at Emma. I was
You can
working,
spill the beans, Jonny.
yeah, I was working somewhere that got across. So I worked at Technophobia, again, a Sheffield company that's been around a long time, and they did great stuff, working with great people. That got acquired by Capita, and over time, I just couldn't do Capita's work for them. It just made me feel a bit icky. And some of the things they wanted me to do was just not how you treat clients, not how you treat people. So it was just basically, there wasn't a plan. I just got so annoyed. One night I couldn't sleep and I just thought, how easy to register a company? Oh, it's £10, £15, whatever it was, I'm doing it. And then it evolved from there, really. Then it's like, okay, I've thrown it, I need to throw my job in, I've got nothing else to do. I'm going to have to do this and make it happen. But yeah, it came from there, really. Without spending weeks, months, years thinking about it, it was more, I'm jumping in the deep end and let's see what happens.
It can't be as bad as this.
Exactly.
Did you take any clients with you?
No, I didn't, and it was a benefit in some ways. You weren't allowed to take clients; that would be against contracts and commercials and stuff like that. And I didn't directly take staff, but if they come and knock on my door and ask for a job, then that's something different. But no, because we weren't allowed to go in and know any clients, it forced us to broaden our horizons, to think, what else is there out there, to get on the road, to get our name out there and win that business, which has done us really well. Mm. And then over time, clients move on, don't they? If you deliver constantly for your clients, if you're friends with them, if you do a good job, they will soon leave that company that you've been working with and start a new one. And then, they phone you up on the first week and say, yeah, we need some help.
And you've got 2 clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right, let's call it there, shall we? Thanks very much, Jonny. Give me a round of applause, everybody.